So welcome.
Thank you.
Happy to have you. So for people who don't know, Sean McCool is our third speaker for the Visibility Conference, and he is a master life coach and best-selling author. Did I see that?
Amazon, yep.
And he's all about mindset. So Rachel and I will help you with the in-person and the online. Sean's going to help you get your head in the game.
Right.
Sound good?
Yeah. So what I've come up with for the title of the talk is how to stop hiding and how to live with wealth and power in every area of your life.
I love it. I love it.
So that's what we'll be covering. I had some ideas for today. I've got my coffee, but I'm open to, whatever anybody wants to talk about. I talked about something we could, I think, kind of expand on if we want to. But I'm wide open to whatever you want. It's your show.
Well, I think if we could just talk real quick about the 3 realms of possibility that you were talking about the other day, that would be a great place to start and kind of give people a good idea of what you're about.
Yeah. No, so I believe there are 3 realms of possibility in life, and I'll let you I'm going to try not to watch the comments. So if somebody jumps in and you want to interrupt, feel free to interrupt. It's hard for me to talk and watch that. So
I understand.
But you do it very well. So, it's tough, but it's especially on the phone. On desktop, it would be a little easier. On the phone, it's really hard to watch the comments, scroll and pay attention and all that. So I've got this thing that I call the 3 realms of possibility. And people have heard parts of it, and I've kind of picked up some things, and I kind of just put it all together. And that's one of the things that I do as a coach, as a speaker, author, even as a copywriter. I've got some copywriting background as well. So it all deals with language and persuasion and all that stuff. It all fits together. And I have an ability to kind of take a lot of information and kind of synthesize it and prescribe it out to people. That's my gift. You've got a gift for design and seeing spaces and, all the things that go into that. My gift is language and being able to take big concepts and ideas and break them down for people and help them apply it to their lives in ways that really impact and move them forward.
Right.
So probably everybody has heard the quote, you don't know what you don't know. Right? Most people have probably heard that. So that kind of got my brain working and thinking, and I was like, that's interesting. So I started playing around with it, and I came up with this thing called the paradox of possibility. The paradox of possibility is this: the greatest possibility for your life, for anything you want to do, lies in the realm where you have the least available knowledge. Okay, so where the most possibility is for you is where you have the least amount of knowledge, not the most amount of knowledge. We're taught in school that the more you know, then you can go deeper and deeper and deeper. But actually, learning is all about what you don't know, not what you already know.
Right.
So possibility then, paradoxically, is not what you know; it's what you don't know. So there's 3 realms that I think happen with the 3 realms of possibility. So the first one that everybody kind of knows about is what you know. Like what you know, right? We all know what we know. And this is where a lot of us will tend to try to solve problems. We'll try to create new things in our lives. We'll try to get out in the world with, what we already know. Like we know that there's this thing called the yellow pages, but even though we kind of know it doesn't work anymore, that's kind of all we know about advertising. Maybe if we're new to the world of marketing, advertising, getting visible, things like that, we try to use what we've known. We know there's this thing called Facebook and we see ads, but we don't really know about it. So there's this world of what we know, and that is very often just not very productive in unleashing new possibility in our life. So if I were to think of that amount of knowledge, that realm of possibility, like a library, it would be 1 book in a library. Yes, Joseph. So I do see that one. So yes, Joseph, it does tend to be outside your comfort zone because we tend to be, but this is even more knowledge and just the possibilities. But yes, typically it's going to be outside your comfort zone, which I'll get into in realm 3, which is how we begin to unlock it. So this first realm, if you think about a big library full of books, I know those are outdated concepts, libraries and books and things like that, but I still love the places.
I do. I love them too.
Yeah. So And well, that's why you're talking about offline stuff, right? Because you're still
Right.
you're still a physical world kind of girl.
I'm a pen and paper kind of gal.
Yeah, yeah, and there's a lot of good science behind why that still is a good place to be. So think of a big library, and then one book in that library would be what you know. Like you take all the stories, movies, ideas, conversations you've had, and that's really only about one book's worth in an entire library. So realm one, just to recap, is what you know you know. So it's what you already know. Realm two is where most people will try to solve problems from. It's what you know you don't know. So let's look at the world of design and the world of remodeling, you know, that kind of stuff. So if I watch HGTV, right, and I'm just an average consumer, maybe one of your clients, I know about this thing called load-bearing walls, right? Because they talk about it in every episode on every show, right? Everybody wants to know, well, is that a load-bearing wall or is it not? You know? So I know that I don't know what a load-bearing wall is, but I know it exists, but I don't really know, right? So I could go to Google because I don't know, because I know I don't know it. So I could go to Google, and this is where Google is really, really powerful. Like if you know you don't know something, then you can go in and type exactly what you want to know because you know you don't know it. Does that make sense?
Yep. Hey, Rachel.
Hey, Rachel. Good morning. So if you know you don't know it, then it's pretty easy to go type in, how do you do this? How to X. Most how-to books are all about what you know you don't know. You kind of go in. Now, unless you're in a bookstore or library and you kind of stumble across something, then that's serendipity, and we'll talk about that in realm three. So realm two is what you know you don't know. And that's where you just type in Google a question, or you go ask a friend a question, but it's based out of what you know. Even though it's what you don't know, it's based on what you know to ask. Like you have to know to ask the question to play in this. So it's still
you've got some sort of an experience.
Right, and which means you're also bringing in a lot of baggage because you're going from a very limited point of view because you're asking a question that only you know to ask. You know, one of the things I do when I work with one-on-one clients or when I'm in a mastermind group is I'll ask people, you know, what they don't know about this, and it kind of stumps them because they're always asking out of what they already know. And they usually don't have an answer for that, but it stops them long enough to say, okay, maybe I need to open up and think about this. And that leads us into realm three. And the realm three of possibility is what you don't know you don't know. Now, you've probably heard about this. You know, we've heard people talk about this. Let me back up a step two. What you know you don't know, realm two. If we go back to our library analogy, realm one was one book. That's your knowledge. Realm two would be the library. You have access to the library. You can go to the card catalog. You can look on the computer. Well, I just dated myself with card catalog. You can go to the computer. You can type in a question, and it'll tell you the section of books where that might be, and you can go look it up, right? You can go to Google. You can look it up. So that's realm two. So if realm one is what you know, and that's just a book, your experiences in life, realm two would be the entire library, where you have access to other people's knowledge, but you have to know what to ask for to really do any good there.
Or you can't find it at all.
Yeah, so the possibility there is still fairly limited, and it's probably not going to give you your biggest breakthroughs. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Any questions coming up for you before I move on, or anybody else?
I think we're good. I think, though, that this next thing, before you go there, I actually went back to business school because I knew that there were things that I didn't even know to know.
Yeah.
So I knew certain questions had to be asked about marketing and accounting and finance and all of that. But then I knew it existed. I knew that world beyond what I needed existed, but I didn't even know, like you said, I didn't even know what to ask.
Right. And that's a very open and honest place to come from. And that's where learning and possibility really comes open. Like if you know you don't even know what to ask and you're vulnerable enough to be in that spot, then yeah, that opens up all kinds of stuff. And you were willing to step into that by going to, you're like, well, I don't really know, but I guess, you were kind of straddling the edge between realm 2 and realm 3 when you said, I'll go to business school, because I know there's people there that will force me to ask questions that I don't even know to ask. You know, and that's what, when you go to your clients, you know, part of your job is to help them transition from realm 2 to 3 as far as possibility, right? They might be thinking the only possibility is to knock down this wall. Well, you've got, you know, they don't even know to ask anything but that, because that's all they've seen on HGTV, right? Is, oh, let's just blow out a wall. Is that load bearing or not? That's about the sum of they know, you know, what to ask.
Right.
But you've got all these other things about structure, about raising the ceiling, about, you know, oh, we could do something here on the floor. We could, you know, there's all kinds of possibilities that you know about.
Right.
And if they're open enough, then you can allow them to step into that possibility. And, you know, maybe you need to move the kitchen from the back of the house to the front of the house. They weren't even considering that, right?
Right.
But that would work better. So, so realm 3 is what you know you don't, or what you don't know you don't know, right? So if we go back to the library analogy, realm 1 was just a book. Realm 2 was, you know, the entire library. Realm 3 is like the entire universe. Like, it's not even I mean, we're not even talking books and libraries anymore. We're talking like everything becomes available to you. So if you think about that, you try to wrap your head around that, that means that 99.999% of the available solutions are completely outside of your field of awareness. And that's what really has me excited about the Design and Visibility Conference, is you're going to be sharing some stuff. Rachel's going to be sharing some stuff that these people have probably never even thought to ask, right? They don't even know, they wouldn't even know about this, what to put into Google to search, you know. So you're going to be bringing up some stuff. I'm going to be bringing up some stuff that is going to open up a world of possibility that they didn't even know existed. And that always gets me excited, you know. So, I mean, that's where real breakthrough happens. So I'm excited about that.
I think we've already established that I'm a learning nerd, so it just makes me happy. Yeah,
it's going to be fun. So I just wanted to, you know, I'll restate the paradox of possibility. The greatest possibility lies in the realm where you have the least available knowledge. So if you feel like, if, you know, thinking about the Design and Visibility Conference, either coming live or coming, you know, online or offline, you know, and you say, well, I don't know if that's for me, then that's exactly why you should be coming. Because if you're open enough to realize that you don't really understand any of this, then you'll get the most out of this of anybody. Because you won't come in with all these prejudgments, you know, and trying to, you know, well, I already know that, so, you know, I'm just going for this. But if you just come in completely open, completely like, I don't know what I don't know, I'm wide open, just, you know, let me learn and soak this up, let me be a learning nerd, then, you know, you'll have a great time and your mind will be blown at the end of the day for sure. So,
and I have to say, a perfect example of that, though, is, you know, people know that in-person visibility, it's networking, but it's so much more than that. And they get so stuck on that idea of, I have to network, I don't want to network, networking is scary, so they don't do anything. But it's so much more. If they would just step out and learn a few more options, it wouldn't be nearly as terrifying, I promise.
Yeah, and you know, the beginning of learning is admitting that you don't know something, because that opens up a space in your brain to say, okay, because why would you learn something if you already know it? I mean, you just wouldn't, right? So learning requires, and discovering new things requires that we admit that we don't know something. So by showing up, you know, we're all going to be a room full of people who don't know, you know, a lot of stuff. And that's a beautiful group of people to be with, because it opens up just so much possibility and so much fun and energy and everything else. So that's why I'm excited to be there. I'm excited to hear from you and Rachel and what y'all are going to talk about, you know, and then I get to sandwich my stuff in between there. So that, I mean, I'm excited about that and what I'm going to learn about visibility, because honestly, as a coach and one-on-one coach, you know, I hide behind the scenes a lot. As a copywriter, I kind of hide behind a screen a lot. So I'm really excited to hear about what y'all have and how I can apply that to my business, even though I'm not in the design world, right? Because it's, you know, some of the biggest breakthroughs in our lives come, and when I was as a copywriter, some of the biggest breakthroughs I find in promotions and things like that are taking from one industry and applying it to another. So I'm really excited to hear what y'all have to say, and looking forward to it. And I've been practicing, what I'm going to be talking about to really make sure I give, everything I've got, and for everybody that's there, and that they will really, really step into the wealth and power that's available to them in every area of life, not just their business, but how they can apply that across all realms of their life, which really makes your business even more exciting.
Oh yeah.
If the rest of your life's working well.
Absolutely. It makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah. So that's all I had. I just wanted to pop on.
I'm super excited. And for people who don't know, Sean will be there for the mastermind if you get a VIP ticket. So Rachel and I and Sean will be sitting down, having dinner with you all, and just chatting about whatever it is that you need to chat about. So
yeah, that's going to be fun. I have no idea what will happen there. I mean, those are the kind of environments that, amazing, joint ventures can happen. I mean, that's just all kinds of cool stuff can happen there. Some really, practical 101 advice that can just blow your business up in a good way. Those types of conversations and those VIP sections can be absolutely amazing. It can help you distill down everything you've heard during the day.
Right.
So, I mean, if you can't do the VIP, you're still going to get some incredible stuff. If you can do the VIP, then step up and do it, because it's just an amazing. I know it's limited because that room's going to be, limited. Right. So, first come, first served there, I guess. But yeah, those are always fun.
I was going to say, we've only got, I believe, 15 VIP tickets total.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that's going to be a really tight, intimate little group there so everybody will get
nice and small.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be powerful.
And you get food.
I'm
sorry, that's the best part. Food, swag. We'll feed you lunch. We'll feed you dinner. We'll feed you snacks and coffee, because, Rachel and I are all about coffee.
Gotta have coffee.
For more information and to purchase your tickets, please go to bit.ly/visibilityconference.